couldn't be bothered, man. Just couldn't be bothered. Hey team, how are you today? I hope you're doing really well. We are gonna discuss the friend zone. Firstly, let me just say this. Friend zone doesn't exist. I'm really sorry to everyone who thinks that it does. The friend zone is an imaginary place where people who think that you owe them sex exist when you are a nice person who just wants to be friends with them and they are angry at you for that. But there is a specific type of data, in my personal experience, a guy who thinks because that he wants to put his dick in you, that if you don't want that, he's in the friend zone. And once he realizes he's in the friend zone, what that means is he suddenly knows that you don't want to have sex with him. He doesn't see you as a potential anymore because the friend zone is like a cage that he can't get out of. So when I say how to put someone in the friend zone, what I mean is how to get across the idea that even though he thinks you owe him sex, you're not going to be doing that.
I told them in Spanish. How much clearer could I have been?
So that is what I mean, but it's easier, and in the parlance of today's youth, which I am aware of.
How do you do, fellow kids?
So my first tip is knowing where you stand. So what that means is, are you definitely never ever gonna sleep with this guy?
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
Are you interested in him, or do you like the fact that he gives you attention? Which, let me tell you, is where I am at all the time. That's shitty. It's shitty for you to do that. Just enjoy, like, lead somebody on for the attention. So you have to be aware, am I actually interested in this person, or no, I'm just doing it because I like the attention and I'm never ever ever gonna be a part of this person's life in a way that's more than what I am now. So that is the most important thing, because if you don't know what you want, how can you get it? The next thing that I would say is, in a situation like this, the person who's interested in you that you are not interested in is gonna try to bring like a flirtiness or maybe talking about sex or something into conversations.
Let's go to my house, we could feel each other up on the couch.
You just need to play oblivious to all of this. Steer it away from that. If they try to bring up something, if they try to flirt with you, what's that? I don't know what that is. Really break down their ability to make the conversation flirty. And you know what? I'm a really flirty person. I flirt with people all the time without realizing it.
It looks like, you've started flirting already.
No, I'm not. I'm just listening to you.
Like, oh, I thought I was just being funny. Like, I don't realize that I'm flirting. So for me, this is really hard to like not say something back that I think is funny. But you just have to, if you can't say something that's not flirty, don't say anything, which is my next step. If they're still really trying to push the flirty angle, still super trying to get with you, and it's obvious that they're just like not getting the message that you are not interested at all, you need to like temporarily ghost them, right? And that's where you just don't reply at all. You just completely stop replying from their text messages. You don't like anything of theirs on Instagram.
Being invisible? And even if they ask, you just turn invisible.
You can stay friends on Facebook, but don't comment on any of their posts. Just completely stop existing from them in any social media sense at all completely. If you guys are in a friendship group together where you'll probably see them once or twice a week because like a group of friends is hanging out together, that's fine. You can hang out with them because that's like a non-committal situation, but don't be texting them back. Don't be commenting on shit. They need to learn that they are not a priority for you, that you don't place them as high on like the friendship scale as they clearly are placing you.
Sooner or later, difference scares people.
They need to feel a disconnect. It's one of the only ways that they're gonna learn. And look, that feels really shitty, and I have a hard time. I was saying to a friend the other day, is it worse for me to ghost someone completely or to be polite to them, message them back every so often, because like we're friends. I want to be friends, but I don't want to date this person. So you need to temporarily ghost them. And for some people, this might take a week. For some people, this might take a month for them to just get the idea that you're not a priority at all. I don't need to be speaking to you. I don't really want to talk to you if that's the only way you're gonna talk to me. I wanna be friends, but I don't wanna have conversations where you steer them to sexual stuff all the time. So you need to break that down. The next one, obviously, I kind of touched on it, but if you guys are in a friendship group and they're wanting to hang out, you need to know who's gonna be there. Don't hang out alone. If there's a couple that you guys know, don't hang out with just the couple and then you and this person you don't wanna date, because that's like a pseudo double date.
You don't double date, and pay attention, it's serious.
That happened to me a few years ago, and that was problematic. So you need to make sure that you don't hang out alone and you don't hang out in situations where you are the last two because everybody else is paired off, because then they will start to feel as though you're an us. Just the two of you as an us, and you're not an us. You're a me and them. You don't want to create a situation where they can think that. If at this stage, all of that still has not worked, my go-to, and what I kind of love doing because I'm an argumentative bitch, is you find out something that they absolutely hate and you talk about it all the time. Or even worse, this is kind of, that one I think is okay. This is really rude, but it's next level. Find out something that they love and talk about how much you hate it, because they are going to start realizing that you aren't compatible, that what they thought you were and what they wanted you to be isn't who you really are. Even if it means amping up an aspect of yourself that's not all of you, but just to make it more prominent so they can realize that, maybe that's what it is. Just so that they'll realize that we're not compatible, we're not the same. We're not gonna get on all the time, and if you don't like that about me, then we aren't gonna be hanging out together. We can't be dating or whatever it is that you want.
I won't allow myself to be controlled by anybody's own belief system.
The last step, the most escalated step of trying to put somebody in the friend zone, is you have to just not care if you lose them as a friend, because being objectified and treated like a prize to be won has to be worse than not having them in your life at all. Being friends with them and staying friends where they're not a creepy asshole is clearly the priority and clearly what you want. But if that's not a possibility, if the options are they mouth breathe near you and constantly talk about how much they're in love with you, or they're not in your life at all, then you need to realize that that second option of them not being in your life is healthier, not just for you, but for them as well. It's gonna help them move on and find somebody that maybe they are more compatible with. So at a stage where you've done everything else I've mentioned and they're still not getting the message, then you just have to stop caring if you hurt their feelings.
I don't give a shit.
Because they're hurting yours by treating you as something to be won over and somebody that owes you sex, and not as a real human that they can have a friendship with. Those are my tips for putting somebody in the friend zone, letting them know that you do not want to have their genitals or mouth near your genitals or mouth. That's what dating is, right? That's what it all boils down to. Gross. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have put someone in the friend zone, please click the thumbs up button. I know that's most of us out there, guys and girls. It happens to everybody. And if you want to see the videos that I'm bringing out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, please click the subscribe button and the little nipple next to it, the little nipple next to it. And what that means is that every time I upload a video, your nipples will get erect, regardless of what situation you're in, and they'll start to tingle and you'll go, I know what that feeling is. I know what those hardened nipples are. That means that Hannah's uploaded a video. That's why you should click that button. They can do that now through the internet. They can do that now. Yes. What? hope you learned something about relationships and dating and putting yourself above what other people want from you, because this isn't just about people who want you for sex. Also, you can friend zone people who want you because you make their work life easier, or you help them study, or you're doing something for them that isn't reciprocated in the friendship.